Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. It is so great to be with you all. It is Wednesday morning. There's not much wind at all. The offshore scene has got calm seas. I know it's a little foggy, but it's the seas and the wind that we're concerned about, and it's gorgeous right now. It's a great time for you to get out and experience some really good offshore fishing, albeit hit and miss. We'll get into that. And we'll get into the weather. And of course, we'll take you south of the border, see what's going on with our friends in Mexico Lindo. We'll also be taking a look at the Channel Islands. And up above there, I've got details on Captain Eddie Leland's memorial service, when it will be, and you are all invited to come and celebrate the life of our dear friend, Captain Eddie Leland. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, is that good or what? Hey, I can't thank you enough for all the likes you have been giving us. 4 million views, way more than 4 million views here on YouTube. 10 million views on our social media. That's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, as well as other platforms. It's all thanks to you. And man, it means so much to us here at Friedman Adventures. So hit that like button, share these videos, tick the bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. And of course, leave a comment down below. We deeply appreciate that. In addition, folks, we've got some important dates that I want to talk to you about. Of course, Friday morning, I'm going to be on board the Independence for 5 days. And I can't wait to see all of you who signed up for that trip. Thank you so very, very much for being on what promises to be another Friedman adventure, another Independence adventure. She is such a gorgeous boat. And while I know many of the people who will be on board, there's some of you who have signed up, and I don't know, and I'm getting really anxious or really looking forward to meeting you and forging a nice friendship with each and every one of you. So 5 days on the Independence. And of course, depending on the Wi-Fi situation on the boat, I'll be coming to you at least once every day from the Independence. That's going to be a lot of fun. In addition to that, I'll be shooting a video on board there. I'll be doing some individual podcasts, and all of that content will roll out when we get back from our trip, if not during the trip. Again, subject to the Wi-Fi situation. All right, my friends, once again, November the 3rd, I almost forgot to give you the dates that I just told you were so important. November the 3rd, we are on board the Horizon out of H&M Landing in San Diego, California. That is a Friday night. We're departing on a day-and-a-half trip. Lots of options. This thing is not over $495, and that includes all your meals, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Horizon Sport Fishing, just go to Horizon Charters, and you scan down below till you see Friedman Adventures November 3rd, and you can sign up online today. Make sure you do that, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And then also December the 2nd, we're all going to get together and have a really great time. I can't wait. It's our Christmas party. It'll be at the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club, and we're expecting a big crowd. I've already got a list going. There's a lot of people who are going to attend. Patreon members who are the life's blood of Friedman Adventures, thank you so much for being a Patreon member. You go for free, you get a great meal, you get opportunities at raffles, you get some free raffle tickets. Patreon members are free. The rest of you guys, it's only $15. And of course, a lot of this is going to go to help our efforts in sending more and thousands of more goods down to Mexico. We've got medical supplies and clothing and food and so much more that we're going to get down there before Christmas. And getting together, feeling the Christmas spirit, having fun, doing all these raffles is a great way to support our efforts, and I deeply appreciate that. Just send me a text if you'd like to be on the list before it fills up, and man, we'll see you December the 2nd for a great Christmas party. All right, let's get into it. I want to take you a little bit further down the Baja Peninsula. Normally I start in Ensenada. Sometimes I'll go all the way to Cabo, but we'll go to San Quintin because San Quintin is such a great fishing venue in Baja California. I absolutely love it. Michael Sansoti is a guy who's fished on the Friedman Adventures charters many times. He's a great young man, and on our last trip on board the Amigo, Michael and I were talking a little bit about his future trip to San Quintin, which he is on right now. And I was saying, man, oh man, do I envy you. You're going to drive down there. You get to see that pristine, beautiful Baja coast. You're going to experience some great fishing, great food, the people of Mexico, the culture, all of that. And it looks like he's having an absolutely wonderful time as Valentino goes by. There he is. Buenos dias, Valentino. So really a great trip. As you can see, great food. All the stuff I talk about when you go south of the border. It looks like they're having quite a bit of fun down there. Ensenada area. We get up there. I've been talking to many of the Pongueros and my friends down there in beautiful Ensenada, 70 miles down below the border, that beautiful coastal town of Baja California Norte. And they're picking offshore. And by picking, I mean, that perhaps is not the right word. Sometimes it can be insane if you find that right kelp patty, if you find that right school of fish. You know, that turn that dips in indicates there's some yellowfin there, or that patty that's loaded up. You see a patty off in the distance and it's all birded up, tons of birds on it. You roll up there and you get bit. And then sometimes you'll hit 10 patties in a day and nobody's home. So it's hit and miss offshore, as it is everywhere in our offshore situation here in October. But if you miss there, you can fall back on some really good sheepshead and whitefish and rockfish and occasional yellowtail, lots of big bonita down there on the local scene, whether it's around rugged, beautiful, pristine Punta Banda, or it's over near University Point where you can scratch out some sand bass, calico bass, or it's further down or up the Baja coast. There's some pretty good local fishing going on. So there's several options available to you if you're fishing down there in that neck of the woods. And there's still bluefin and yellowfin, dorado and yellowtail on the kelps. You have a chance at all of that and more. So once again, down in Ensenada, San Quintin, things are looking pretty good. Now, we move up and let's talk about offshore fishing in Southern California. I know many of you are joining us from other parts of the world, or definitely other parts of the United States. And here in Southern California, from the border down there in San Diego, let's call it, all the way up to the Channel Islands, boats, sport boats who are departing from these individual landings can run out and fish areas like Tanner Bank and Cortez Bank. They fish near San Clemente Island, some of the offshore regions like the 43. These are all names that perhaps don't mean anything to you, and for many of you, they do mean something. But what the point is, they're all accessible for many, many boats, and that's why when we give you these reports, we're talking about boats out of Dana Wharf, boats out of Ventura, boats out of San Diego, boats out of Long Beach and San Pedro. All of these guys still have an extraordinary chance to get in on it. Now, yesterday was kind of a hit and miss day for many boats. Some guys got them, some guys missed, some guys had very tough fishing, some guys had some pretty good fishing. Tanner Bank started to kick up a little bit more yesterday. So we saw a sign of life out there, and hopefully we'll be able to get on that today. I'm sure some of the boys are going to get on Tanner because we did see that little bit of a sign of life, and hopefully that will continue to progress into the future. However, we do have some windy weather manifesting on Saturday, and it looks like it's going to blow about 2 days out there. It's going to be pretty nasty out there in that neck of the woods. These are forecasts. They're subject to change. That's the reason why we're here on the morning briefing. We'll be able to let you know. And of course, I intend to make morning briefings every morning on board the Independence. How exciting will that be? We'll be right there on that beautiful long-range vessel doing the morning briefing if the Wi-Fi thing pans out. And of course, I'll keep you in touch with that as we go along. I'll be able to get something up on YouTube, something up on our Facebook, Instagram, or our TikTok, and let you know how it is going. So the general overall picture sounded good for Tanner Bank. Let me give you some scores to give you an idea. The Fury out of Dana Wharf Sport Fishing was on a day-and-a-half trip. 40 dorado, 15 bluefin, 12 yellowfin. May not be wide open, but doggone. I mean, that's still some pretty decent fishing. Scott Buechert was on board the Pride yesterday on a 2-day trip. He said it was very scratchy. Just scratched out a little bit of yellowfin, a little bit of bluefin, a little bit of dorado, and then they focused on rockfish. Said it was overall just kind of a slower kind of trip. Nothing wide open at all. The San Diego, 29 guys. They're out of C4 sport fishing in San Diego. They do a great job every single day. Leave in the morning, come back that very same evening. 29 guys, 64 yellowfin tuna. YFT back in the picture. Will it be out of the picture today? I mean, it is so enigmatic. It's just a mystery every single day. They also had 3 bluefin and a couple of skipjack. The Pacifica, 25 guys on a 2-day trip, 40 bluefin. Liberty, limits of bluefin tuna on the first of a 2-day trip. So you are hearing, and the purpose of giving you these mixed scores is to indicate to you exactly what is going on. You can hear the hit and miss nature of the bite. The Pacific Queen on an overnight trip, they had 31 anglers, 24 dorado, 3 yellowtail, 11 bluefin tuna for that Queen. Legend 2-day with 30 guys, 65 on the bluefin tuna, 31 yellowfin tuna, 18 on the dorado. I can't remember who it was talking about Steve Taft and the legend to me yesterday at 22nd Street Landing. Escapes me who it was, but man, did they go into great detail about how great that crew is, what a nice guy Steve is, and how hard he works, and his expertise is at another level. I thought I'd share that with you because the guy, whoever he was, due to my faulty memory, he was so impassioned about saying that. Ocean Odyssey, 1.5-day trip, 31 anglers, 51 bluefin, and 1 yellowfin tuna. So as you can hear, we have some mixed scores, and you need to mix your tackle also. So that means when you're fishing fluorocarbon, www.opsonusa.com, put in FA at checkout for a free gift from Greg Brown. When you're fishing fluoro, sometimes you're going to even drop down to 20 pound to get a bite and go down to a number 4 circle hook, depending on the nature of the particular day and bite you are in. If you're not sure on how to gauge that, and it's fairly simple. I mean, you just use your observational skills. You look around and you go, whoa, everybody on the boat is bit. That guy up there on the bait tank is screaming like there's a fire or something on the boat. He's just screaming, boy, look at the fish. And every time I see a guy cast, he's bit. That's when you want to go in the water with 40 pounds. You want to go in with a heavy. You look around and guys are drinking coffee and it's been 10 minutes and you're dry. And some guy goes, oh, I got one. Hey, hook up. You can see it's a plunker bite. It's slow. It's going to take some work on your part. It's going to take that lighter line, choosing that good hot bait, doing all of those things that are necessary. Sometimes you're down at the 20. Sometimes you're fly lining with the 60. It depends on the intensity of the bite. It depends on the grade of fish that you are seeing. All of those things have to be taken into consideration. And as you go along in this game and you progress, you'll get better at this. Just keep your eyes open. It is so very important to make friends with a crew member. That can only help you a great deal. So you want to have that 20 pound, but you also want to have 60. And if you're fishing at night, I'm telling you, or you're on a multi-day trip, I'd have some 100-pound good 2-speed reel, at least 100. I like 130-pound Spectra, 200-pound leaders on your nighttime jigs. Jigs in the 350, maybe 250, up to 500 grams for sure. With this inclement weather headed our way, it's going to be windy, breezy on the weekend. Several areas, you're going to want to have that 400 or 500 gram kind of jig. It is important. I emphasize it so much, but when the captain says drop, you drop immediately. You get to the depth that he is telling you to get at. You do that with metered line that changes color every 100 feet. He says drop to 300. You know you're at 300. All of those things are so very important. I talked to a bunch of guys who are getting on board the Freedom, just full of enthusiasm and looking forward to their great day today. So we'll see how the Freedom out of 22nd Street Landing does today. The El Patron has several trips available to you and for you. You can jump on the El Patron out of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, California. Lots of day-and-a-half trips for you. And once again, you can reach 22nd Street Landing by calling 310-832-8304. Get on the El Patron. All right, let's talk islands. Not many people are fishing the islands right now, but some guys are. So Coronado Islands, decent bass, there's occasional yellowtail. Clemente, same kind of a situation. A lot of sea lions, which are an A1 pain in the Buck Catalina Island. We had the Patriot there yesterday, and they ended up with sheep's head, whitefish, calico bass, occasional yellowtail going on there. Up there in the Channel Islands, really great rock fishing, man. Those guys are blessed up there in the Channel Islands with superior rock fishing on a regular basis, but they get their shots at some really good white sea bass fishing and some halibut fishing. And you know, we're starting to see a lot of squid in the local environment. Commercial boys have had some big scores already here this year on market squid, and that market squid is the magnet that draws in predators to Southern California. It could be used here in very short time on the bluefin tuna, wintertime on Tanner Bank fishing squid. We were creaming the BFT last year, but more importantly, I think it bodes well for 2024 because it's that magnet that's going to move all those predators, white sea bass, halibut, and so much more into SoCal. So we'll be watching that for you very, very closely. As we take a look at the local scene, man, there's some good calico bass fishing going on. I know the new Seaforth had limits of calico bass, and they released another 72 fish yesterday. Excellent fishing. Fishing light line is the way to go, although they were biting the 20 pound just fine, but you drop it down to 12 or 15, and man, you're bit all day long. Choose the good hot bait. You know I was going to say that. That is really important. The Dolphin had limits of rockfish. Really great fishing there on a Fisherman's Landing. Big, nice, beautiful, great eating, colorful rockfish. Hard to beat that. That has been really, really good also. So we'll continue to watch that for you really, really closely. Along the beach here, we continue to see some really good Corvina fishing. Travis Bright, who's a fantastic guy, is up there in Ventura. And man, he had some big beans. Check those out. Nice beans in the surf. Fish in the short water, a foot or two of water. You don't make a long cast at all. You fish the 6 pound, you dig up a sand crab. It is so much fun catching Corvina. And they're biting from the border all the way up to this neck of the woods. There's some really great Corvina fishing. There's still some yellowfin croaker, occasional halibut on a Lucky Craft or a 3/4 ounce chrome crocodile lure. Those have been working really, really well. And we continue to see smatter through here, all kinds of raisins, sharks. You get all that kind of stuff here on the beach. Also, spot fin croaker biting on the bait. They rarely bite an artificial spot fin. They are fun to catch. And, you know, sandworms or sand crabs or whatever other kind of bait you can find right down here at the corner of Big Fish Bait and Tackle, or the corner of Big Fish Bait and Tackle, at the corner of PCH and Seal Beach Boulevard is where you'll find Big Fish Bait and Tackle. You can get 10% off your lobster gear there. You can pick up all the baits you need or any kind of tackle from big game, bluefin tuna to catching beans here in the surf. Remember that Big Fish Bait and Tackle at your service. And so surf fishing's pretty darn good right now. All right, let me give you the details on Captain Eddie Leland's memorial service. We lost our dear friend a few days ago. Still have a hole in my heart over that one. And so those details. Captain Eddie Leland's memorial is going to be November the 11th. It will be from 4 to 8 p.m. and it will be at All Souls Cemetery in Long Beach. It's 4400 Cherry Avenue in Long Beach, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Come out and celebrate the beauty of Eddie's life, how much I watched him personally do for others, how much, I mean, just to give you an example, I never saw, during Eddie's final days, like when it became obvious that things were not going well, let's put it that way, I never heard Eddie complain. I never heard him complain. Meanwhile, I'm complaining because I stubbed my toe or, you know, some other silly reason to complain. And then I look at Eddie and I think to myself, if there was ever a reason for someone to complain, this is it. And Eddie never did that, never stopped fighting either. So you can always learn something. You can always take what is a tragic circumstance and you can learn something from it. And man, those lessons that Eddie continues to teach me, even though he's gone on, something I will never, ever forget. All right, my friends, still some good opportunities. November the 3rd on the horizon. Don't delay too much. I'll see you Friday morning. Can't wait to see all you folks who are on board the Independence. Really looking forward to that. And of course, I'll be watching everything all day long, getting ready for some more adventures. Have a great one. Don't forget our Christmas party. Can't wait to see you there. Reserve your spot today. And as always, I hope to see you really, really soon. Have a great day, my friends.